Hey everybody, Dr. Fisher here. So today is the maiden voyage of our new 150-gallon water tank. We did a variety of blocks. I'll talk about them here as I get in. I'm going to do 3 minutes while I'm talking to you. We had to make a few adjustments. The temperature is going to be, it's still very cold. It's going to be in the 40s. We didn't quite get it. I don't know how accurate our
that
little
thermostat is not accurate.
new thermostat is. It's in the 40s. Woo! Okay, you ready?
Like, it
3
feels
minutes
like
go.
it's 30.
So I overfilled it a little bit. Woo! We got
Step in the water, Dad.
we got some ice in here.
Sorry.
And my boys are gonna jump in here after me. So today what we did was we used several containers that I filled with water. I'll tell you a few things that I learned, a few things that I suggest as you might be interested in doing this yourself. So we put this ice in the beginning and started filling the tub. Obviously I overfilled it today because I wasn't sure exactly how full I wanted it. So when you fill these buckets, you got to remember a couple of things. We leave the lids off of them. If you put the lids on, they will bust through the top. Okay, and as well as one thing I didn't realize was I pulled a whole bunch of stuff out of my freezer and threw a massive amount of stuff into the freezer that needed to be frozen all at once. And I started noticing that my meat and stuff started to thaw out all of a sudden. So one thing to remember is, if you can, use a dedicated freezer if you're going to be doing it this way, because it put a really heavy load on my freezer. So my son and I put a fan on it and pulled everything off the freezer because the top and the sides and the back actually were like so heated that I could feel it as I was like a few feet away. So with that being said, this is a marvelous way. You know, I walked into Walmart today and I saw the vaccination signs and I thought, you know what? It's time to do some cold plunging vaccinations. And that is what we are doing today, friends. We are doing some cold plunges. I've done some other videos on the fact that the cold plunges really help with the immune system. Starting out with something simple like 30 seconds, ending your showers on as cold as you can tolerate, and increase that cold toleration over time. That's a really important piece. Now, I may make this look simple, but I promise you it's very cold in here. One thing to remember is if you're going to sit in a cold plunge, what happens is you get a barrier of heat. Are we over time already? One thing that happens is you get a barrier, a heat shield around you. And so one of the things you want to do is when you're in the shower, you can just move, right? And so you don't get a heat shield per se. But when you're in an ice bath like this, one of the things that you can do is you can move around. Because what that does is that provides the body with that cold, kind of moves around and breaks up that heat shield, right? So, right, my legs, my arms, nice and cold. Now, I am going to finish this off with a plunge because one of the reasons why we used to have a 100-gallon tank, and I'm kind of a big dude, and it was a really big squeeze, and I didn't like it. It was uncomfortable.
You can fully sit down now.
Yes, I can completely and totally sit down now. And now it's going to be much easier for me to be able to dunk my head under. And that is one of the things that I wanted to be able to do.
1.5 times bigger than...
It is 1.5 times bigger. And so I want to be able to do that now. I'm going to finish off. I'm going to dunk my head under and stay under for a few seconds. And I wish you well with your cold plunging. Let's do this together. Work on supporting your own immune system. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
It's still draining.
This is Dr. Fisher, signing out.